3 months ago, Penguin took control of the underworld.
This is Gotham City. There will always be crime.
Master Bruce? What was the initial reason you went out there?
I can make a difference in Gotham.
It's dangerous.
He's coming! The Scarecrow!
Tell me, what scares you the most?
GCPD can no longer keep us safe.
I can protect Gotham.
Don't do this.
Tonight, we shall show Gotham what it means to fear.
Gotham premieres September 21st.
Rough night, Bruce. You get into a fight?
On Fox.
What is up, everybody? My name is BobaTalks and welcome to a brand new Gotham Season 4 video, and today we are breaking down the trailer that you just saw because Fox gave us a kick-ass trailer and there is so much to talk about. So before I go on anymore, guys, be sure to like this video only if you do enjoy it, and apart from that, let's get into this trailer breakdown. So first of all, in the trailer we see Harvey saying to Jim that 3 months ago Penguin took control of the underworld. Now this is what I mean by the trailer. It's kind of showing us similar moments from the season 4 trailer we got, but also continuing on from moments we saw like this between Jim and Harvey. Since in the previous trailer we saw Jim saying to Harvey that he will not let Penguin take over the city. Now the next moments just enforce Penguin's rule over the city and how it's going to be a big part of the first season amongst everything else, even to the point where we know that Jim will enlist Sophia Falcone's help to take Penguin down. We get a glimpse at Nigma again in the ice, as well as Oswald's voiceover saying this is Gotham City, there will always be crime, and he's got quite a smug smile on his face there with a little laugh, and to be honest I don't blame him since Oswald is a huge part of that crime. But the important part of this scene is that we get a better look at who he is talking to. Now even though I can't say for sure who it is, they are probably talking to Penguin about the situation in Gotham and its crime, since he is the one who mainly has got all the influence and control over Gotham at the minute. We also see Penguin later in the trailer boldly going to the GCPD, most likely after this conversation that took place with the people we just saw talking to Penguin, saying to Jim that the GCPD can no longer keep the city safe, with a whole bunch of press and reporters there too. So this is going to get pretty messy for Jim and probably push him over the edge to seek out Falcone, who will then have his daughter there, and those two will meet and form a bond and try and stop Penguin. Here we see this great Batman-esque shot of Bruce looking over the city, patrolling for crime that he can stop in his full vigilante mode. Then we see him mask up, but with a new mask, which is different to the one we saw him wear at the end of last season when he saved that girl and her parents from muggers. But it's not the new mask which comes from Lucius Fox as a part of the body armor set. But talking of Bruce going out and being a vigilante, we see the beginning of when Alfred is questioning Bruce as to why and what the reason could possibly be for Bruce to go out there and do what he has been doing. And Bruce is most likely having successfully done so for a few months without Alfred fully realizing until now that it is something to worry about. Bruce will explain to Alfred that he feels like he can make a difference, and as we saw in the other trailer too, I mean, he's felt more alive than he ever has going out as a vigilante. But in typical Alfred mode, whose sole purpose in life is to more or less care and worry about Bruce, tries to really make Bruce aware that it is really dangerous what he is doing, and to be honest he will continue to do this for as long as Bruce even goes out and even into his Batman days, as we all know from the comics. Now the next scene we get is of Ivy pulling down this switch, which we saw from the previous trailer as well, and I've already talked about it a little bit, but by judging what we see a couple of scenes later in the trailer with Penguin looking horrified and saying no, he is most likely looking at the puddle that lies where Riddler was once frozen. Now it could be that Penguin pisses Ivy off, which wouldn't be the first time that she's gritted her teeth and let that happen, and this is the time it probably goes a bit too far, and she could seek revenge on Penguin by turning off the switch to what keeps Riddler frozen. But at the same time as saying this, it could be someone else, so you'll have to let me know if you think if it is Ivy or not in the comments below. Next up, we see the lights go off in Arkham Asylum, and we see that Jim is patrolling the halls, as most likely a few inmates have escaped. And one in particular we can hear is shouting, "He is coming, the Scarecrow." Now later in the trailer we see a clip from the same moment in the episode where it looks like one of the doctors or someone like that, just due to the way they're dressed, they don't look like they're an inmate, is going pretty crazy at Jim. So I'm wondering if in this Arkham outbreak fear gas may have been released and driven a few of the inmates and staff crazy. It's also possible that when we hear Jim saying "don't do this," he could be coming across Jonathan Crane himself just before he flees Arkham, trying to persuade him out of doing what he is doing, which I really hope to see. I wonder too if this is how Jerome escapes for a story arc later in the season, and if they will hint at that at all after Jim gets out of Arkham. I love the Scarecrow drawings on the floor of an inmate's cell. I mean, this could be Jonathan Crane's cell, but it's also likely that an inmate who was maybe in contact with some fear gas, perhaps the one who was shouting Scarecrow, was drawing it into the floor repeatedly. I really can't wait to see this scene with Crane and his scythe going after this guy here. Tell me, what scares you the most? You can barely make his name out, but I believe it displays Warden Reed, so this could be Scarecrow killing the Warden of Arkham Asylum. The scenery looks right for it as well, so that would be pretty crazy if that actually happens. We get another look at the incredible costume as well, and I just have to say he's going to be absolutely terrifying. We also hear Scarecrow saying, "Tonight we will show Gotham what it means to fear." And these people here, who seem to be in this restaurant setting off their guns, it really reminds me of that moment when the Joker walks in with his thugs in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight film and tells the story to Rachel about how he got his scars. These thugs really do look like the picture we got from Danny Cannon a while back, who are most likely Scarecrow's right-hand men, causing havoc and spreading fear throughout the city. When we see Jim and Harvey shining their lights in this image here, I think that they are most likely searching Jonathan Crane's old home, and this could very well be where the fear toxin was being made for what we will see in the early episodes of this season. Now we get a couple of scenes we have seen before with the previous trailer of Bruce out in vigilante mode, but we see here that he is talking to someone saying that he can protect Gotham. Now what we know is that this person isn't Jim, as Jim will be after the vigilante who's out in Gotham this season. I mean, it could be Alfred, but I doubt he's having the same conversation over and over again with Bruce, so I'm thinking it's either the reunion with Selina, but it's more likely Bruce appealing to Lucius Fox. We know from previous seasons that Lucius Fox has helped out Bruce before, and this could be the beginning of that new chapter for them both, which we know does happen this season from other scenes, but this conversation right here could be the one that starts Lucius Fox working on that body armor or proto-batsuit, whatever you want to call it, we see in action later in the trailer. Next we see Tabitha, who would have been showing Selina the ropes for a few months now, and all of these guns that are discreetly hidden away behind these walls, which is freaking awesome. We also get a glimpse of a scene which we have seen before in the previous trailer, which I'm probably saying so many times now, but this time of her actually using the whip to completely floor this person. Now this is definitely the start of Selina discovering the anti-hero within her and getting closer and closer to her becoming the woman we all know one day she will be. We also get this really cool scene of Ra's al Ghul bathing in the Lazarus pit. Now, as to who this person is here holding a blade, it's most likely one of the members of the League of Shadows, who we then see presenting Ra's with the blade, which he then continues to unsheath with a very menacing look on his face. I absolutely love the green glow of the blade. It just looks freaking awesome. And I can't wait to see what Alexander Siddig brings to the role this season, as from what we have briefly seen of him before was great. Let's not forget that he is also training Barbara this season, so let me know what you think is happening in this scene in the comments below. Speaking of Barbara here, we see her with the much different look she will be getting this season, and this could be in the same location as from what we saw earlier with Selena and Tabitha, as what we do know is that there will be a power trio this season with Selena, Tabitha and Barbara, and Selena will be the glue that holds them together, bearing in mind what happened between Barbara and Tabitha at the end of last season. Now, another very interesting tease we get in this trailer is that we see Ivy's face morphing a bit. Now, even though we got some progression with her storyline, with her aging, and the teasing of her future Poison Ivy persona, with her last season seducing men through her latest creation of plant fragrance, so could this be the start of her getting some metahuman powers like we are now very familiar with in Gotham, with what was once Fish Mooney's freaks, but now penguins? I'm quite excited to see what this scene is all about and why her face is morphing the way it is. Could she be developing even further into Poison Ivy? Let me know your thoughts, guys. We're also given a look at Bruce's vigilante suit from a different angle and seeing new grooves in the side of his face mask. Now, the molding on the side looks like a pair of ears, which I think is really cool, since for a long time he won't be having any on the head of his mask. And lastly, I love the scene we get with Lucius saying a very typical comment that he would give Bruce in the comics. "Rough night, Bruce, did you get into a fight?" Full well knowing what he is doing out there, especially when he is the one to make this early armor for Bruce. But we also get a look at Bruce fighting criminals for the first time in his proto-bat suit armor, and not the concealment he came up by himself with beforehand, where we saw him fighting criminals in the previous trailer. This time he is in the armor that Lucius provided him, but it's also up a notch with the criminals as they are firing guns. Now, at first I wasn't sure how I felt about this because, I mean, fair enough, Bruce fighting a mugger, and if it's a knife fight or something like that, he may have had a bit of training. Maybe it's a bit too fast, but we can forget about that. But with him against people who are firing guns, and that's next level. So I guess we can put it down to Bruce having gone out amongst his training already, which we have seen in previous seasons, but going out the past few months already, maybe he's got a lot more experience on the streets, and maybe he's even run into people with guns before, and now as well he is in body armor. So it's going to be awesome to see nevertheless, especially the way they cut it in this trailer. Even though these criminals are using guns, that looked totally badass. But ultimately, guys, I want to know what you think of this ending scene of this trailer in the comments down below. But that is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on this video, as it really does show your support for the channel. And if you are new, maybe even consider subscribing to stay up to date with more Gotham Season 4 content just like this. Now, if you never want to miss a Gotham video or just a video of mine in general, be sure to hit the bell button to turn notifications on, which will enable you to get alerts every single time I upload a video. If you want to stay a bit more up to date with me personally, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook or any of the social medias, which should be popping up on the screen around here or in the links down below. Just click on one of those to follow me. But apart from that, guys, let's get some hype. Gotham is coming back on September the 21st, so not long now to wait at all. But apart from that, everybody, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.